Hi creative friends, this is Freya and thank you so much for being here. So I posted this little bird in my community part of YouTube, and I did get a comment where someone asked me if I can make a video about this, and I most certainly will, but I am still learning how to put together pieces of collage like this, and I have a book on fodder over here, and I've had this book for quite some time, but I wasn't as interested then as I am now in exploring collage in new ways. So once I get a little more comfortable in what I'm doing, I will most certainly share everything that I am learning, everything I know, and I might even do a couple of exercises from this book. It's a really good book, actually. It's got tons of different exercises and ways of working, and it's very freeing. So I am going to make some videos on that. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do my 100-day project mixed media portrait, but I'm going to approach it in a little bit of a different way. So basically, what I have been doing is I have been experimenting in working in new ways with color and values and portraits, etc. So usually I grab a pencil and I will start sketching in my face, but I am not going to do that for this portrait. So I did lay out some colors. I picked a Prussian blue, which is a very cool blue, and I picked Naples Yellow, which is a very warm yellow, and I did put some of my Luminous Opera, which is a bright, bold, delicious pink, and my Cad Red Light. I just wanted to have a little bit of a couple of bright colors. But this approach is very loose and freeing, and what I'm going to keep in mind is my push and pull. So I was, and I don't even remember where, you guys, because I do listen to a lot of different videos, and I just get on different social media sites and I watch different things, so I wish I would have remembered exactly where I got this from. But somebody was an artist was talking about a monster, like starting your page off like drawing a monster type of situation, and that analogy really kind of stuck with me. And the reason why is because it is so freeing. Like, we're not worried about how it's going to look or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with my dark color, which is my Prussian blue, and I'm going to kind of see like where I want to place the face in my head. Like, I'm just going to imagine it. So and then I'm going to kind of like feel out, like, maybe like just use my fingers just to kind of feel, okay, maybe like over here. And I know that sounds really kind of bizarre, but it's the way I have been working. Just for the past week, I'm just experimenting and just trying out new things, which is always good. And see, I'm not really concerned that's going to be, hopefully, maybe the hair, and just kind of just loosely laying my colors here. And I'm looking at this as like very experimental as well. So I want my face to be off to the side a little bit. I don't know, I'm just kind of feeling it. And maybe like the nose, and like I said, very monsterish. This does look like a monster, actually. And like so, and okay. Now what I'm going to do is, so I'm thinking push for the Prussian blue, and then the Naples Yellow is going to be my pull areas. And one of the great things is when this Naples Yellow mixes up with the Prussian blue, I am going to get some greens, which I have been wanting to experiment a little bit more with my portraits. So Van Gogh used a lot of greens in his portraits, and I absolutely love them, but they are like really challenging for me because I want to go for the reds and the burnt siennas. Like I want to go for the earthy colors. That's just kind of what I want to do. But I do want to explore greens. I think it's a really beautiful color to use in portraits, and it can give you so much character. So do you see how like everything is looking very monsterish? It kind of reminds me of one of like an African mask. You know, I've seen some really beautiful African wooden masks that look like this, or maybe like one of Picasso's abstract kind of masks. He used to use African masks as inspiration. And just kind of like so. And do you see how freeing this is? Because you're not really, you know, you're not thinking about anything the way it's going to look. You're just kind of, you know, just going for your colors, your values. Now what I want to do is I do want to just kind of, because this is mixed media, right? I just want to kind of add some of this over here, and for the background, I am just gonna put like a wash here. So I wanted to drag some of that Naples Yellow into there because I want to still try to move my eye around a little bit with the colors, the repetition of colors. Okay, you guys, this looks like a big mess here. That's okay. I have to keep on telling myself, it's okay, it looks like a big mess. It's okay. That's the, you know, that's the way it's going to be at this stage. So I think I might put some of my tea bags here. And it is a little bit wet, but that's okay. I'm just gonna drop that right in. So at this stage, you guys, I'm just thinking push and pull. I'm thinking my darker values, and I'm thinking about energy. I'm thinking about, does this have life? Does this have, you know, a dynamic quality to it? Does this have juiciness? And that's what I'm after. I'm after the juiciness, and anything that is going to give me the juiciness, I am going to follow it, if that makes sense. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to just drop a little bit of this ink here. See, I just want that kind of juiciness here. And then once everything dries, you guys, I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to use my pencil to kind of make the sketch of my face. So anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. I am going to let this completely dry, and then I will come back and work on it some more. So I'm just going to bring it up closer. As you can see, it's just a big, juicy mess. There is nothing great going on. It does look quite monsterish, but it also looks interesting. And I learned this a long time ago, for me personally, with my visual language. I am going to pick interesting and ugly because to me, ugly is interesting. Ugly, it pulls me in because I'm like curious about it. And I am going to pick ugly and interesting over a traditionally beautiful painting every single time. And I've mentioned this before, like I have seen tons and tons and tons of perfectly rendered portraits, which I mean, I love looking at them, but after, you know, the 100th one, I don't, I'm just like, oh my God, like, no. And I want a Van Gogh. I want a Kees van Dongen, and I'm gonna put his name down. I love his work. I love a Schielle. Those are what I gravitate towards, and there's a lot of ugliness in there. There's a lot of interesting, weird, curious type of stuff going on. So that's what I am kind of leaning towards, and I'm just gonna show you what I mean here. So. See, I've kind of been experimenting with working in this way. And this portrait over here started off similarly to this one here. And I've been experimenting. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.